You're listening to Catholic Chicago. Ahead, the Archdiocese of Chicago brings you programs about the people, events, and issues that touch our lives. Thanks for letting us be part of your morning. Now again, Catholic Chicago.
Good morning, and welcome to the Voice of Charity. I am Phil Zepeda, here with my colleague, Katie Bredemann. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning, Phil.
We are so glad to have this opportunity each week with all of you to talk about the ways in which Catholic Charities is putting faith into action throughout Cook and Lake counties, witnessing a message of mercy and hope to anyone in need. You can find the Voice of Charity each Tuesday at 8:30 here on WNDZ, 750 AM in Chicago, and on our live stream on YouTube and Facebook at Catholic Chicago. So today, we're getting a special preview on one of the most uplifting events that Catholic Charities puts on the calendar every summer. It is the annual Achievement Celebration for all of the participants in our Family Self-Sufficiency program. So for those of you that are not familiar with it, our Family Self-Sufficiency program helps low-income single parents with case management and employment services for up to 5 years as they work towards greater stability and improve their own quality of life.
It really is a wonderful program, Phil, and here to discuss it today are Patricia Fuller, who is the Family Self-Sufficiency Supervisor, along with Heather Stewart, who is a Program Case Manager, and Ashley Reynolds, one of the program participants. Welcome, Patty, Heather, and Ashley.
Morning. Thank you.
Hey,
good morning.
Good morning to all of you, and we're thrilled that this trio has joined us for the Voice of Charity this morning. So thanks so much. There's three of you, so we'll be really diplomatic and deliberate in directing the questions to each of you, so you know who's on. So Patty, we're going to start with you. So help remind our audience about the goals of the Family Self-Sufficiency Program, or FSS, as it's known in the community. So take it away. Tell us about the goals of the program.
Great. Thanks, Phil. So the goal of the program is to empower our single-parent families to overcome obstacles in becoming and or maintaining their self-sufficiency. Earning a living wage is key to this. So there's a lot of focus on employment and or education growth, and all of our services are provided in both English and Spanish.
It's really quite a fascinating program that I've grown, very, very fond of. And it's been in place for quite some time. What's the history of the program?
So since 1984, the Catholic Charities Archdiocese of Chicago in Lake County have had this program. It's very unique in that it does combine efforts of social workers, case managers, and employment case managers to fully support each one of our program participants. For this reason, it's been recognized nationally, and we have hosted many programs from across the country over the years to learn how to replicate our program.
Yeah, it's truly remarkable. We're going to talk more about what's coming up this particular weekend. Tell us more about the participants. Is it both men and women that participate as single parents?
Yes, we serve both single fathers and single mothers. Same format for both. We find it valuable to have all of our participants together for services,
right,
and specific individual needs would be identified and addressed when required. But we try as much as possible to bring everybody together as a group.
Beautiful.
And Patty, can you share a little bit in greater detail about what the requirements are to be accepted into the program?
Sure. So you do need to be a single head of household. You do need to have stable housing. And our program serves only individuals who reside in Lake County, Illinois, so North Chicagoland. And again, the focus is really on creating an income stream and providing that self-sufficiency. So there is a big commitment to becoming self-sufficient, which would require individuals being willing and able to work.
I know that the participants in this program, actually, we so look forward to hearing your experience, but I know they work incredibly hard to set those goals and then achieve them over the course of 1, 2, or up to 5 years. You know, I know that distinction between single parents and head of household is an important one as well, right? Because sometimes you have grandparents raising children, correct, Patty?
Yeah, very much. I mean, it's actually right now, that is one of the populations for our program that we are seeing grow the most. The program was built around single parents, but the recognition in the community that there are a lot more grandparents raising grandkids right now. It's always been set up to support a single head of household, but we started to adapt our language a little bit as we do outreach in the community to reflect this better so that we can be more inclusive of anyone in need in the community. We have adults who, these grandparents who have retired and are now raising grandkids, and maybe financially that wasn't their plan initially. So they need support, they need resources. And so we really don't want to make anyone feel that they can't be served by our program.
And what a blessing those grandparents are in the lives of those children. So Heather, you know, as I said, we so look forward to hearing Ashley's experience, but can you tell us in general how many participants there are in the program this year?
So we have 130 families at any given time. And while the program is targeted towards single head of household, we have found that children in the family also benefit. They're on honor roll, they're completing high school, going to college, after seeing their parents working so hard to succeed.
That's a super wonderful image, right? That the children in the household are seeing their parents strive for great goals and that they want to do the same. Can you also explain, Heather, a little bit about how case managers help the participants establish their goals and achieve them?
Yes, so we provide housing advocacy, childcare referrals, emergency financial resources, money management counseling, and treatment planning, and also goal setting.
And part of participating in this program is attending monthly meetings, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. And then can you talk to us a little bit about what the employment specialists do? Because I know, as we said at the top of the show, this program is unique because you've got social workers assisting the participants, but also employee specialists as well. What are their fortes? What do they help the participants do?
Job readiness and skills assessments, interviewing techniques, resume building, going over like workplace expectations, job placement, job coaching, and retention services, transportation assistance for those active participants that need to get to those employment services.
Very uplifting, isn't it, Phil?
It is. It's tremendous. And you have this wonderful celebration that's coming up this weekend. So Heather, you and Patty are planning for this upcoming 2023 Family Self-Sufficiency Achievement Celebration this coming Saturday, June 10th. Tell us about that, and what are some of the milestones that you're acknowledging this year?
So we have some of our participants have gotten food and safety sanitation certificates, a communications analyst promotion, a Microsoft Office and basic IT certifications, COVID sanitation and heavy machinery certifications, the PERC card, an Institute of Religion graduation diploma, and a newborn care specialist certificate, and a nonprofit startup.
So, Heather, what are the requirements for graduating? They're on this 5-year journey, right? And so they're coming to this point of conclusion in the program. What are those criteria that you say, all right, this individual is now set to, transition out of the program?
So obviously they've met their 5 years, and then so what we require them at closing would be to verify housing stability, employment stability, and then financial stability as well.
So, and I believe it's a difference between the people that are graduating from the program and then people that are celebrating milestones. So I want to make sure that I understand that correctly. So how many candidates or participants do you have in each of those categories? So how many are graduating from the program, and then how many are celebrating milestones?
So we have 8 graduates in the program for this past fiscal year, and then we have 8 milestones and achievements that were reported.
Wonderful.
It's truly wonderful, and I imagine it's such this point in time for these program participants to celebrate this achievement. We're going to hear from Ashley. We're going to take a break shortly. We're going to we want to hear from you, Ashley, about your own experience, but the families and friends that come to this ceremony as well, to just see the pride and the support and this accompaniment that's just so emblematic of this Catholic charity spirit and essence in our organizational values. It's truly tremendous, and I think it's one of those programs where it truly surfaces and comes to light in the way that we help these individuals in leading their households and moving on to this tremendous quality of life and celebration of their self-sufficiency. Ashley, if you'll hold on, we're going to take a break right now, and we're talking about the Family Self-Sufficiency Program. You're listening to The Voice of Charity on WNDZ and Catholic Chicago. We'll be right back. For more than 20 years, Catholic Charities Adult Protective Services has been advocating for seniors who are the victims of abuse, neglect, confinement, or financial exploitation. With our partners at local, city, and state agencies, our trained case managers follow through on every concern that is brought to our attention in a cooperative way to ensure that our seniors are safe and protected. According to the Illinois Department on Aging, last year nearly 21,000 cases of elder abuse were reported in Illinois. Of these, only 5% were reported by seniors themselves. So raising awareness is an important part of this issue. If you are concerned about a senior you know, call 800-252-8966. That's 800-252-8966. With your help, we can stop elder abuse and look out for the seniors in our lives.
I am a seminarian.
The Church needs compassionate and well-trained priests to help guide each of us through life.
What inspires me, what draws me always to the priesthood is continue to see priests be a beacon of hope for other people.
You can play a part in the education of these young men as they prepare for a life of service to others.
I want to be that beacon of hope too, and it sets my heart on fire.
To support our seminarians, make your gift at archchicago.org/seminarian fund or call 312-534-7959.
Welcome back to The Voice of Charity. I'm Phil Zepeda here with my colleague Katie Bredemann. You are listening to a wonderful show, and we're talking to 3 wonderful people talking about the Family Self-Sufficiency Program at Catholic Charities. Joining us are Patricia Fuller, the Family Self-Sufficiency Program Supervisor, along with Heather Stewart, a Program Case Manager, and one of the participants from the program, Ashley Reynolds. We are, again, thrilled to have you all with us. Ashley, let's welcome you to the show, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. So share your experiences with the Family Self-Sufficiency Program. Tell us, when you started to participate and what your initial goals were.
I started back in 2015, November of 2015. And at the time when I started, the initiative for a lot of us to join, because I was in low income housing, was you build an escrow. So it's like, oh, well, 5 years, you build an escrow. At the end of your 5 years, you'll receive a check for it. And it's like you can utilize it for putting a down payment on a house, or you can utilize it for different resources. And when I decided to move, I had lost the ability to utilize and continue to have the escrow. But I continued in the program because they did help with a lot of resources, because my family transitioning from one setting of a household to a new one, I needed guidance. I wasn't able to just like, okay, I need to, because low income, it's like you could either pay zero to market rent. Now I have to pay market rent. How do I budget to pay market rent? How do I make sure that I have all the resources when I move in?
Right.
And from the beginning of the program, that was a big thing for me, was making sure I was able to be helped.
That's tremendous, and it's profound. And it's just a reminder that none of us can or should be taking that for granted. Tell us about your family. How many children do you have? What are their ages?
I have two children of my own, which are my daughter, who's 12, my son, who's 8, and then I also have a bonus son who is 14.
What do they think about their mom going through the program?
My kids have been around since, like, it started with my daughter, and now my son is involved, and they're like, Mom, when are you going to be out this program? You've been here for so long. It's like, yeah, and look where we came from. We went from living in a low income apartment that had no space to now that we're in a 3-bedroom house.
Oh, that's great.
I think
That's
it
wonderful.
helped.
Yeah, that is
wonderful.
Great. And forgive my laughter. It was from a point of joy. I appreciate that, having a child of my own. How did you hear about the program in the first place? What brought it to light for you?
I was living in Waukegan Housing Authority in their low income apartments, and they had a liaison who was working with the Family Self-Sufficiency program. And at this time, I had my old case manager. She had, made the connection with them. And when I started, I was like, am I really going to gain anything out of this? Just somebody to manage my money and manage my movements. So it did make me uncomfortable for a while, because I'm like, why do I need to call in every month? Why do I need to go through these goals every 3 months? Why do I have to do all these things? But it made sense, because it gave me a structure for me to be like, you know what? I want to get my food and sanitation. So what do I need to do to go down and get to that course to be able to get my food and sanitation? So those every 3-month meetings, it's like, okay, it's guiding you in the direction that you need to go in. Because if you steer away from it, it's like, hey, so do you feel you achieved this goal by you said you wanted food and handlers, now you have it. Do you feel you achieved it, and do you feel you went the right path to achieve it?
So it sounds to me like for you, and so for so many of the participants, that it's really a leap of faith. That you have some of the answers to the questions that you have, but in many cases, as you've just kind of explained, you're a little uncertain about, well, why is this happening? And then just putting your trust and faith in the system that it works, and that bond with your case management lead is really going to make this work. That's tremendous, but it's really based on a lot of trust.
Yep.
And Ashley, it really is such a pleasure to meet you. I just think your story is one of courage and resiliency, and we admire your fortitude and your persistence in achieving these goals very much. I'm wondering if there's any moments during the last 5 years where you hit a especially happy milestone or a special moment during one of the sessions that you've attended where you said, "Gosh, I'm really turning things around. I really see the light at the end of the tunnel in terms of being self-sufficient."
I would say when I was looking through the pictures that you guys were showing, and it was of all the different families who were at the last achievement celebration. And I was a part of that celebration. And Here's me.
Yeah, there they are.
My little family.
Oh, beautiful family.
Look at that.
Beautiful family.
So when I had started in the program, I was always about food service, food service, food service. And my employment specialist had made the point of, is there something that where can you grow at? And when she had mentioned to me about the becoming a security officer, I was like, oh, well, I mean, do I want to walk around and look like a cop, but I'm really not. There's always those stigmas. But in that time frame of her helping me to receive my perk card, I was able to get into the program, learn how to be an unarmed security officer, and now I have advanced from an unarmed security officer to a communication analyst.
Wow, what an achievement.
Truly.
That's fantastic. And would you say, looking back at the program now, is there one aspect of the Family Self-Sufficiency Program that was especially helpful to you, Ashley?
Every month checking in with my case manager.
Keeping up with it.
That case, that check-in. Yep, that makes a lot of sense because it keeps you on your path.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Patty, Ashley heard about the Family Self-Sufficiency Program through the Waukegan Housing Authority. How do other single parents hear about the program, and what's your most successful amplifier, if you will, on getting the word out about the availability of this program?
So we do continue to get referrals from the housing authorities, both Waukegan and North Chicago housing authorities. We also are connected with many other agencies in Lake County, schools as well. So we have kind of a direct source, with schools because they know the families, and that's where our families are. And also internally in Catholic Charities, other programs here in Lake County. We have most recently been receiving a lot of referrals from our other programs here in Lake County. So that's a big help to us as well.
And Heather, we talked about how single parents have so many barriers, so many obstacles to self-sufficiency. Ashley mentioned some of the ways, especially those monthly meetings that have been helpful to her. But what are some of the other ways that you and your team help single parents address these significant obstacles to their self-sufficiency?
So these monthly meetings that we provide also include speakers focusing on motivational topics, life skills, parenting, helping for children, good habits for school, budgeting, eating, and preventative health care for children as well, improving credit scores, social activities, sharing of ideas and experiences and strengths. The goal is to empower our single parents as they work toward their self-sufficiency.
And the children participate in some of these classes and seminars as well, correct?
Yes, definitely. They are engaged in a variety of age-appropriate activities.
I'm guessing that the pandemic, there were so many programs at Catholic Charities that were helped during the pandemic because people got more used to doing, online Zoom sessions. Was that the case with this program as well?
Yes.
Yeah. I can see that being a real help because, everybody can just tune in and watch a seminar together as a family.
So, Heather, I recognize that some of the single parents may have not have finished school themselves. How are they supported so that they can achieve their education goals?
So we can help them obtain their GED and continue to set those goals. And after that, for certifications and then college and advance their degrees and any vocational training as well.
And before we run out of time, Patty, can you please share maybe some of the ways that volunteers could help and help in this program and what the best contact information for them is to reach out to assist?
Sure. So we do have many volunteer opportunities. Again, at our special events that we do, this upcoming achievement celebration on Saturday would be one of those types of events. We also host a holiday party for our families in December. Pre-2020, we were doing a summer picnic. We're not doing that this year just because of program situation in our staff right now. So we don't really have enough staff to turn around and put that picnic together back in August. But we have a lot of those big special events. We have presenters come in to do our monthly meetings. So if you have a certain skill that you want to come in and share with our participants, we do that. We have office work that we can get help with as well. Mentoring our program participants. So all kinds of opportunities for that. And really the best way is to reach out to me, which is 847-782-4145. That's my direct line here in Waukegan. And you can reach out to me as program supervisor and I can get you hooked up with some additional services for volunteering.
That's wonderful. And thank you, Patty. And you can find out more information on CatholicCharities.net as well, too. So Patty and Heather, thank you so much for joining us. And Ashley, for your beautiful testimonial. We appreciate your candor and your and joining us today. It's really inspiring to hear how each year the Family Self-Sufficiency Program is just helping families achieve goals with really concrete results, right, for themselves. So congratulations to everyone that's participating this year and those achievements coming up on Saturday, June 10th.
Ashley, can we just ask you real quickly if there's anybody in our audience who might be considering joining this program? Do you have any advice for them?
Don't miss your opportunity. Because when that program fills up, it fills up quickly. You will miss out on a great opportunity to get yourself to where you and your family can be happy.
Boy, that's wonderful advice. Thank you so much for being with us today and sharing your personal perspective. Also, thank you, Patty and Heather, for joining us. As Phil said, we really admire all of you, and you especially, Ashley, for your courage, and we're so happy for you and your family. Congratulations, and all the best to you and your family, and all the future holds for you. Thank you all for being here today, and we invite you back. Thank you. And we invite all of you back again next week for another edition of The Voice of Charity. For now, this is Katie Bredemann with Phil Zepeda, and we thank you for tuning in and believing in the mission of Catholic Charities.
Join us every Monday through Friday at this time for Catholic Chicago. You can stream our programs live or listen to past programs by visiting our website, archchicago.org, and clicking on Radio TV. And please connect with Catholic Chicago on social media.